Right, it's about 2 years consistently, I guess, full time, you could say. All right, Larissa's coming. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Just 1, 2. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. That's good. Good, good, good.
Hello?
Right. Hello, Larissa. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Welcome, Chef. Welcome, Elaine. Thank you, everybody.
Hello.
Let's see. We're waiting for Michelle. I think Michelle is joining too. We're going to have a very tight, packed session. So welcome. I want to welcome you all, and I want you to share your information in the chat, and don't be shy to put your number and how people can get hold of you. This is a networking space, and this is also a space to connect with each other at the professional level, obviously, right? So I trust that you're going to continue like that. So, but please go ahead, put your stuff in the chat. I have a very packed session for you, about 1 hour or so. Welcome, Kevin. Good to see you, buddy. And I'm going to share with you how I plan the end of the year and what kind of questions I ask and how I see that next level stuff. So some of you are in my private group, some of you are in the group, some of you are just visitors. So please respect the space. Get a nice pen, get a nice paper. You will get some ideas today as we go through this 60, 70 minutes of content and some Q&A in between in the middle. I will be asking you questions. I will be asking you things to write. And I want you to take it seriously, right? The reason you're here is because you're serious about your business. You're serious about where you want to go. And you've somehow saw me somewhere, probably on LinkedIn, maybe on Facebook, maybe in the Millionaire Table, maybe in a mastermind on C-Suite Network. I'm not sure. But the clients, of course, I definitely know. So there'll be more coming as we go along. And as we go along, remember, right? We are on Zoom, so it's a highly technical thing, right? If things go bad and it shuts down for whatever reason, just come back to the link. We'll figure it out, all right? We're connecting from all over the world. So just if something happens and there's a glitch, just come back and know that I'll be here. Whatever, we'll reboot. I'm probably going to make one of you a co-host, a couple of my clients that I know you. So just in case things happen with Zoom, because it's known, my assistant is all the way in Honduras for a while. So she's gone to be with family and friends. So, so here we go. Again, welcome Cecilia, welcome Elaine, welcome Larissa and Kevin and Chef. I love that name, Chef Kareem. I have a very good friend named Kareem in Pittsburgh. So like I said, it's going to be 1 hour. It's going to be tight. So I got a piece of paper and a pen. I don't have a lot of slides. I have a couple of videos, scattered in between the presentation. But I'm going to be talking to you about what we need to do, what kind of questions we need to ask so that we can advance, so that it gets you intrigued, so it can get you to really move your results the way you want. Finish the year strong and start the new year on the right track, okay? That's what I want to do. So we're going to talk goals. We're going to talk self-image. We're going to talk decision. And we're going to talk about self-image is big, right? And I have 4 questions. Doesn't matter what the size of your business. I ran a $2 million company, a $30 million company, and a 300. And these questions are the same. So take them seriously as we share these questions, as I share these questions with you. But as we get going, I want you to start thinking about your goal, right? Like we all know we need to have big goals. We got to have big goals. If you're here just to kind of make another 1% or 2% increase, this is not the space. You could do that by working an extra hour or an extra shift. This space is so that you can multiply your income. How much? I say 2 to 10 times easy. It could be 20, it could be 100. I've had clients do a lot more. We've had a client just got a $13 million contract with the United States government. So it can go as far as you can think. The key is how far are you willing to go? I'm going to share with you some questions about your beliefs on your goal. And some of you have seen lesson 1 because you're clients. But really think, what beliefs are standing in your way for that goal? You've all heard the famous formula from Bob Proctor, right? I'm so happy and grateful now that I have a gold card in my pocket and it says, I'm so happy and grateful now that. And it says what I want. But what beliefs are in my way that I need to get rid of? Really get rid of. I'm Christian. I was raised in a poverty kind of place. And there are some beliefs that I've inherited, unfortunately, or fortunately, who knows, that are in my way that I have to get rid of them and build a new belief so I can achieve the goal that I want. That's my game. Beliefs is like a jacket. What belief do I need to put on now so I can get the next investment? What belief do I need to put on now? So I'm going to share with you a couple of questions on beliefs, but really think of the goal and start thinking with that one goal, right? That you are working on. And I hope you are working on a goal. So we're going to read a paragraph as to how significant this is. Now, I've been reading this for a while, and I think it took me 6 or 7 times. Let me get this page right. So I have 2 screens running. So can you all see my page?
Yep.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so I need to move this guy up so you see the bottom. This is the first page in Thinking into Results, the material that the legend, the one and only Bob Proctor left for us, right? So I'm not going to go into the spiel and get you all emotionally kind of thing. You know, I'm just going to get into the material, right? I'm not going to tell you much about me. We're just going right in, even though some of you don't even know me, and some of you do. Look at the bottom paragraph here, right? Look at this bottom. I'm going to make it even bigger. Let's see if I can make it bigger so you can easily see it. So luckily with this Mac, I can do that. Before you begin looking at these ABCs, take a close look at your belief system or the beliefs of your group, because this could work for you or for your company. It appears that there are guards that have been commissioned by a higher authority. The hell is he talking about? What guards? What are we talking about? Like, who's there? Who's in my way? To arrest any forward progress in a person's life beyond your level of belief. Like, just this paragraph takes the gasket off. Now, these guards take their marching orders from the belief system itself, which is governed by the natural laws. There is a belief system that's governing us, how far we're going. If we abide the laws, we're going to get where we need to get. If we don't govern the laws, we're not getting where we're going to get. Look at this. Look at the last 2 lines. Like, this puts, I start feeling things on my skin. And I don't know, I didn't used to do that before. But now, if I think about the sentence, there is no growth beyond the beliefs that are held. The heck is he talking about? So Bob Proctor and Sandy didn't just write this for no reason. He wants us to think. I want you to think. What beliefs are in your way? What beliefs are in my way? Because whatever I'm telling you also applies to me. If a person attempts to accomplish something beyond their level of belief, the mind will what? Will quickly and automatically create ideas or reasons justifying why it can be done. So let me ask you a question. Can you make 10 times your income next year? Do you believe you can do it? As soon as you tell yourself, am I doing this? Stuff starts coming up like flares, right? Oh my God. Do I need marketing? Do I need sales? Do I need banking? Do I need a lawyer? Who do I need? These things are coming up. And those ideas will continue until the project is abandoned. And that's why Earl Nightingale said 55% of retirees are broke. 95% of the population is stuck in a $70, $80, $90, $100,000 income, household income. I'm talking US and Canada. I'm not talking overseas. Overseas is even a whole lot worse.
Come to Africa. It's 1,000 times worse.
Yeah, I mean, we have Elaine, amazing, beautiful, brand new client, just signed up last week, Friday, and he is here. It's midnight for him. Like, we are living in the best time ever, but yet we don't even understand material that's been around for several hundred of years. This used to be just with the sages before. See, on the other hand, when a person or a group believes something can be done, the mind will automatically begin creating ideas. And that's what I want to engage with you today. I want to get you that you can use your mind to a whole other level. That's how you're going to get 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times where you are a year from now, 6 months from now. I don't know how long it takes you. It doesn't matter how long as you're willing to go the extra mile. I had somebody in 1 week, I had somebody in 10 days, I had somebody in 3 weeks. So it doesn't matter. We had somebody in 4 months and a half, he got the $13 million order. It's incredible. The great secret, look at this, the great secret of progress then lies in belief. So what is your belief? What is your belief on your goal? The great secret of progress then lies in belief. Therefore, we must ask and demand answers to these questions. And now it took me 6 times to really take my freaking time and take time with this page. And some of you are clients. How many times have you done these questions? I don't know. But I bet you I want you to revisit them again between now and the end of the year as you sit down and sip some wine and enjoy some time with family, because you deserve that. You worked hard. Some of you have been in my classes every day, every 6 a.m., every week. We obviously cannot spend 20, 30 minutes per question, but look at these questions. These are the ones that you need to conquer and build new beliefs to get the new goal. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm giving so much, I'm earning so much, I'm building, I'm investing, whatever is the I am that you're going to attach to it, right? But this is only going to happen if you take this seriously. If you think this is just another course, if you think it's just another page, and right away you let the ego take over, you're not going to get anywhere. And some of you are amazing. I'm very impressed with, and you know who I'm talking to, because you're serious about it and you're seeing your self-image, you're seeing your results changing, how you're showing up, because you're changing the beliefs that you have on what you've done before. And I want you all to know, I don't know what your religion is. I'm not talking about the God you worship. You worship whoever you want. I'm talking about a whole other spiritual side of you. That's what I'm talking about.
I got a question, Kamal.
Yeah.
So you can't control what you can't qualify, right? You can't control what you can't see. And I think the big problem with beliefs is cataloging your beliefs. You can't question your beliefs if you don't really know what they are. So there's almost like a preparatory step that has to occur before we get to answer these questions. And I think some people might struggle with that. I certainly would. I mean, if you ask me what my beliefs are based on subjects I'm very well versed on, I'll have an answer for you. But in general, there may be
Yeah, it's about 2 years, about 2 years consistently, I guess, full time, you could say. All right, Larissa's come expensive, Not all the time it worked, only some of the times. How could a man, that's Bob Proctor, when I first met him, put on his website, and it's still out there right now, it says, tell me what you want and I'll help you get it. And he's famous. This is not a lie. This is real. Tell me what you want and I'll help you get it. How could a man say that? And as soon as you get to a goal that you believe you can get, guess what? Once I multiplied my income by 2, I wanted 3. Then I wanted 4. Now I want 10. Now I want my annual in a month. It is, but in the beginning, it was a struggle. It was difficult. Really difficult. I wouldn't even allow myself to think like that. But how could a man say that? Tell me what you want, I help you get it. Like, wow. But guess what? Earl did that too. Earl Nightingale. Because we look around and some people in the same offices, some are doing really well and some are doing shitty with the same access, same education, same infrastructure, same schools that they graduated from, even perhaps. Because somebody's using their mind a whole lot more. And that's when I started to be interested in the mind. Okay? Really interested in the mind. It's all in the mind. So I want you to think of what do you want on 2 levels. I want your personal side. What is it that you really want? And then on the professional side, if you have a job, if you're an entrepreneur, what is it that you want? Do you want to become a speaker? Do you want to build a business? Do you want to start selling real estate? Do you want to become the top sales guy in your company? I had somebody, and I don't know, it's too bad she's not here, Trudy. She was she still is in Mary Kay for 18 years. 18 years. She wanted to be the best in sales for 18 years. And in less than 1 year, working with me, she became the #1 in sales. Mary Kay has million consultant almost. I think 800, 980,000 something. Now I can't take credit for that. I just guided her. She's the hero, but I was the guide. Because for 18 years, she's been trying. And she's a hardworking mom. She tries to get kids, get boys. It's expensive, you know. And in under a year, she became the #1 in sales. Look it up. Trudy Tush, Queen of Mary Kay. You know, the Mary Kay company, makeup stuff. And they used to give them pink cars. So I asked her the other day, I said, are you going to get a pink car, pink Cadillac? So she goes, no, I'm just going to take the money. I said, okay, good for you. Which is pretty cool. Somebody, she's average, just like all of us. We consider ourselves average, but actually we're above average because we're here. We are becoming part of that 1 or 3% in the population that are going to make it happen to ourselves. Now, you might be thinking, I'm going to make it happen for my kids. I'm going to make it happen for my mom. I'm going to make it happen for my dad. You're going to make somebody proud. Good on you. But first and foremost, for you to get this goal that you really want, I want you to become selfish. Yes, I want to give 10% of everything I earn to the charities of my choice. Welcome, Michelle. She's another amazing client, right? But guess what? I'm selfish. I want to earn a whole lot of money because I want to give a whole lot of money. And I'm not doing it just for my kids and my mom and my brothers and my aunts and the people back home in Lebanon that I left when I left with just a backpack on a boat was $300. So that's not my drive. It is partly, but I'm doing it for me. And now that I've achieved all these things in a short amount of time, I'm more determined that this is the way, understanding the mind and going for it and being in a group just like this that wants to grow. Because we're going to talk about persistence. A lot of you have seen goal setting and achieving. A lot of you have been to seminars, but very few of you are digging really in and studying this material. This is the summary of thousands of years of wisdom. Today, it's interesting. Andrew Carnegie, what I'm going to teach you for those who are my clients, Andrew Carnegie started US Steel back in 1900. That company was worth 680 million back then. Today, it was sold for $14.2 billion. It's still running today. He started it with a group just like this, masterminding with the best in the world. Using this material, the laws of success, Andrew Carnegie taught Napoleon Hill, and that's what I teach all my clients. Incredible. This is what you get. The best, that's what you want. When you want to get mentored, you want to go for the best that you can afford without maxing your credit card, like, to the, going in a big ass debt. No, you have to be within reason, but you have to stretch. Because if you don't stretch, you're not going to get it. So what it is that you want? Do you dare to say, I'm going to 10 times my income? How does it feel? We do an exercise with the clients when they come on board to put a number, right? Is it 10,000 a month? 20,000 a month? And I get them to write it. 40,000 a month? And each one of you have to do that, right? And at some point, you won't even be able to write it because you'll start shaking if you really get into it. But you have to allow yourself, you have to change that belief. You're not going to get all this in 1 hour and 30 minutes. You have to build, you have to kind of ramp up. We are unfortunately systematically inclined to learn in steps. So we do this money test to see what is your number, what is your gauge? Is it 100,000 a month? Where would you start smiling? Where would you start shaking to see where your number is? Bob Proctor is famous for when anybody came to work with him, one of the first few questions that he asked somebody, what's the most you've ever earned? Now, he didn't care about the actual money, but he want to know where their paradigm is. Because your paradigm, your self-image, which is the next concept after you write on a piece of paper of what do you really want, I got to help you change your self-image. Now, I'd like to hear from some of you here, if you know what I'm talking about, self-image. Who would like to share in a minute, 30 seconds, what is self-image? What am I talking about?
Self-image, how you see yourself, whereas self-awareness is how you think about yourself.
Okay, I like that.
Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Hi. Thank you. Could it be the way you show up every day?
Absolutely, it's the way you show up every day.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't used to show up like this every day, but I changed my self-image. Now I can't not show up like this, even if there's nobody here.
So you can be Santa in a few days?
Yeah, actually, on my post, I could be that. I should have that too. Yeah. Let's take one more, maybe from Shaf Kareem. What do you think self-image is?
I think it's like what you believe about yourself and how you project that into reality. Kind of like identity in a way.
I like that. I like that very much. I do have an image here somewhere on the screen. Just gotta find it. It is your identity. And as I help you change your belief, and as I help you cement the goal that you really want, I gotta help you build the self-image to earn what you want, to become what you want. The outside, the physical world, you know, the coins that we want, the money that we want, you know, the silver that we want, whatever, is not gonna show up unless you on the inside change. You have to show up like that. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you dress, the way you treat everybody. You cannot be on the inside something and on the outside somebody else. And you got to do it when nobody's looking. That's the shitty part. You can't just do it when you're at the office. You can't just do it when you're at church. Oh, I'm only nice when I'm at church. No. You can do it all the time. And here's the cool thing. I learned how to change self-image. And that was the key for me to 3 times my income. I did 2 times my income just by the other stuff. Once I learned self-image, I 3 times my income. And this is not to brag, but I'm just telling you what happened with me. And one of the books that I studied, I think I discussed it with somebody the other day on the radio. It was this book, Psycho-Cybernetics. Once I teach you the higher mental faculties and get you through the terror barrier, lesson 4 and 5, and you learn self-image and you write your script, this is the book by Maxwell Maltz. He was a surgeon back in the 50s and 60s. He was doing surgeries on people. And he realized that after he does a facial thing on their ear, on their face, on their arm, they became more personal. They became more interesting. They became more confident. So he started connecting the inside with the outside. Not all the time it worked, only some of the times. So once I couldn't get my goal, and I talked to Bob, he said, it's self-image, come on, study the book. So we did like a book club on this for almost a year, studying this every night for almost a year. It was on Clubhouse. I think it's still on my calendar. So self-image is how you see yourself on the inside, and it's gonna come on the outside as results. I want to give you this now. Your results are only gonna change if your self-image changes. And if you've been struggling, and if you've been working hard, and if you've been attending seminars and classes, and things are not changing, it's because your self-image hasn't changed. It's that simple. Now, I'm sure you're gonna ask, how do you change the damn thing? I mean, how do you do it? How do you do it? It's not Morse code. It's not a mystery. I'm gonna share with you how.
Seems like a mystery, Kamal.
It does seem like a mystery. It's not meant for the average because the school system does not teach us this stuff. The school system does not teach us this. I'm going to find you the self-image definition,
Yeah, I need to
and
go
then
back
I'm
to
going to
school
tell
and
you
ask them.
how to change it, because like I'm not going to bullshit around. I'm not going to share with you just a little bit. I'm going to share with you everything that I have, because I don't want to waste your time. I only want to work with the best and the most committed. And some of you are, because some of you are my clients. So yourself, by Thomas Stewart, your self-image sets the boundary for your performance and your achievement. All right. Let's go at this other diagram here. Let's go at this bad boy. And let me get the pen. Oh, here's the pen. We're going to get the thick line. So think of this. I mean, some of you know this, some of you not. This is your conscious mind. This is your subconscious mind. And if you don't, just take it. All right. This is your conscious. This is your subconscious. Subconscious has 98% control. Everything you're getting right now, everything you're doing is coming because your subconscious has 98% control. Of what? Of your results. This is your body. Your subconscious tells your body what to do, goes into the vibration. Tells it what to do, you get some kind of results. Good or bad, I don't care, whatever. You're getting some results. Now, if your results are not changing, it's because your self-image, the one that's buried in here, has not changed. It's still the old you. So we got to change it. Most people, back to the question from Elaine earlier, are looking at their results and thinking about their results. They're like, oh shit, I have to work overtime. Oh shit, the economy's bad. They're hearing stuff. They see stuff. They talk to the barber about their stocks. You know, they listen to negative media, and they're looking at the environment, and that's affecting their thinking, which is affecting their subconscious, and they keep getting the same result. So what do they keep getting? More of the same goo. It keeps going back and forth. It's like this. It's crazy. Some people have been at this process for the last 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. It's insane. It's time to change all that. Because I'm going to teach you how to do that right today. It's not like I'm going to teach you after you sign up in some of our clients, but those who are not, I'm going to teach you today. And I want you to do it. You have to do it by yourself, but you can't do it alone. That's the magic. Finally figure that out. So how do we get it? Well, this is the subconscious. Your self-image is here. Whatever it is, negative or positive, doesn't matter. We need to be positive, right? We want to be in this side of the fence, knowledge. We want to be positive. We're going to take your self-image, and if your results are small, and if you want bigger results, guess what? We have to change this self-image. We got to change it. That's how you feel about yourself, how you think about yourself, how you show up. You have to disregard what everybody told you when you were a kid, because up to the age of 7 or 8, we were influenced by everybody around us. When we were 7 or 8, you did not use your top mind, your conscious mind. Everything went into yourself. That's why we speak the same language as our mom and dad. That's why we talk the same as mom and dad. That's why we eat their food. We have their habits. We have their everything. Everything goes into your mind when you're a baby. So you have that programming. As badly as you don't want it, you've got it. It's there. And your results are because of that. Now, you might have gotten some school, and maybe you're making a little bit more than your parents. I know I am. But guess what? I want much bigger results. So I stay on this side of the fence. I study every day, and I work on my goals. And I want to change my self-image to where I want to be. Now, how do you change it? I'm going to tell you now. I learned a lot from Bob. I was grateful that I spent almost 80,000, 85,000 with him when he was around. And if I'm to summarize with 1 or 2 words what I learned from him, other than believing in myself, that I could do much bigger things, the one word is repetition. Repetition. Now, he has told that story so many times. You have heard that story many, many times. We have to repeat what we want again and again and again and again. Welcome, Julie. She's another one of my amazing clients all the way in Canada. until the cows come home, until your results start changing, until you see that whatever it is that you're repeating is affecting your results, and then your belief is going to start to change. It's going to take a month, it's going to take 2 months, it's going to take 3 months. I don't know how long it's going to take. It's going to take whatever it takes. But if that's what you want, if that's the goal, and if that's your desire, then you'll do it forever. If you're doing what you love, you're not going to stop doing it. You'll do it for free. So repetition was the magic word. And if you look at this book, and I told you I'm going to give you everything. I don't need you to kind of think. Auto-suggestion chapter in here. Auto-suggestion chapter is magic. I studied it so many times for 1 month at a time. A month ago in the 6 a.m. club, we studied this book twice, by the way. The auto-suggestion. Auto-suggestion is the medium for influencing the subconscious mind. Now, some people will just read this and just keep going. What the hell? Auto-suggestion is a suggestion from self to self. It's the most powerful. Like I can tell Elaine, you're amazing. You're going to present so good. Okay? He likes that. Makes him feel good. But if he tells it to himself, it's more important. It's way more powerful. If you record it on a device and you tell yourself, and you hear it again and again and again, guess what? You're making it sink. You're making it go into the subconscious mind. Okay, I just forgot that I have it here. The more we repeat it, the more you think of the idea, and the more you sink it in, the more you say it, you say, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. You keep telling yourself, we're going to take this idea and we're going to sink it in here. And it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And guess what? You're going to get into the feeling of what you want. You're going to get into the vibration. What is feeling? Can anybody welcome who just came in? Feline. Can anybody explain what is the definition of feeling? What is feeling?
It's the emotional side, so the emotional kind of attachment you have to something.
I like it. Emotional attachment. That's very good. The definition that I'm still trying to understand from Bob and from Earl Nightingale, because the feeling of the subconscious mind is what's going to get your body to do some things that you've never done before. You got to get into the feeling, and the feeling gives the body, this is the body, gives the body the vibration to get into the action to get the results. So what is feeling? Well, he said, feeling is the conscious awareness of vibration. Feeling is the conscious awareness of vibration. What the hell is that? So when I'm feeling, I'm consciously becoming aware of my vibration, because the subconscious mind is telling me what to vibrate at. It's telling me what to do. It's telling me which seminar to attend. It's telling me which post to put. It's telling me who I need, because the more action I take, the more I attract what I want. I got to attract what I want. Feeling is the conscious awareness of vibration. You might want to write that down. Repetition is everything. And if you're struggling with something that you don't want to do, that you have to do, read chapter, the auto-suggestion chapter every day. I did it for several months. It's a really good chapter. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time to go through a lot of it, but it's the key. It's the key. Now, goal and self-image. Okay. I think of a goal. I write it down. Now I got to become it. Because we become what we think about. Who here have seen the movie, The Secret? A lot of people, right?
I read the book.
You read the book, right? Law of attraction, right?
Hmm.
How come not so many get it? How come not so many are attracting money and abundance, and if money's already here? I mean, he talks in this book, you were born rich. You're just short a bit of money. What the heck? We're all born rich, but we're short a bit of money. Well, money is what I need. If I'm to go out to buy a coffee, I need money. But we're all born rich. So I'm testing the material. I'm testing the material that Bob and Earl and Andrew Carnegie and Napoleon has put together. We become what we think about. So, okay, we become what I think. I got to change my self-image. I just told you how to change the self-image. Now, there's a little bit more to it. There's some exercises that I got to take you through, especially those who are my clients. We will. Bob did both. That's pretty cool. Yeah. We get a goal. We fall in love with it. When you fall in love with something, you'll never work another day in your life. When you fall in love with something, you never work another day in your life. Now, what the heck does that mean? Well, let's look at this diagram again. So you see there's power that's coming to you, right? Yeah. Go blue. So there's power that's coming to you. Power is spirit, is energy. You wake up and you have it or you don't. We need to talk, but everything is just is. And there's this power that's coming to you. You decide what to do with this power. And when you fall in love with what you want to do, you will always have this power. You'll always have a lot of power. You will not wake up tired. You will not wake up procrastinated. You will not wake up and think, I don't want to do it. You'll just do it because this power is coming to you and is being expressed through you, through your feeling, through your body to get the results that you want. That's why successful people work hard and they don't get tired. There's power coming all the time. It's expressed through you. All right, we got a goal, we got self-image, but there's still something missing. What do we have to do after we pick a goal, working on my self-image? What's one of the things that we got to do to really keep moving?
Take action.
Take action, absolutely. We are living in a cause and effect universe. We're not living in space. We're not living in the basement. We take action. The world gives us reaction. We gotta take action. All right. Before we take the action, what did we do though? We have the goal. We have the working on the self-image. What do we have to really do? Action is basically, you know, the vibration of the command. But there's one little thing right before that. What did we do?
Change our belief.
We changed our belief. That's good.
Consistently tell ourselves what we aim to be like this identity that is our future self, and continuously kind of repeat it, like maybe affirmations and this and that.
Yep, affirmation is gonna help. That's gonna help your self-image. That's gonna help your changing to what you want to be. It's gonna grow the new paradigm. I'm gonna give it to you. You have to make a decision.
Ah,
How many decisions are you waiting on making? Think of decisions. I think the easiest example, you know, I get shivers. The easiest example I find is like decisions are like you're driving on the highway and there are these bulldozers in front of you. Like, I don't know, when I was in Lebanon, maybe that's why. On these highways, there was all kind of blocks and you gotta go around these different cement barriers. So decisions are like this. I haven't decided here. I haven't decided here. And you have to keep going around them. But when you make the decisions, everything goes down. You make a decision on your goal. That's it. It's final. We in July, right? July 4th in the US and July 1st in Canada, right? In July 4th in the US, we celebrate the Independence Day. Those guys made a decision that could took their life away. They got in a room in a mastermind, they locked the door, and they made a decision that could end their life. Are you willing to die on your decision? How far would you go until you get your goal done? Now, I don't want anybody to die. I don't want anybody to get hurt. That doesn't mean jump off a building, because if you do, you're going to die. The gravity law would hurt you. You have to work with the laws, but we got to make a decision. There's a decision chapter in here. Have you studied the decision chapter? Do you really understand it? And when you make a decision, can you change your mind again? Do you change your goal or do you change the plan, right? So we got to make a definite decision. It's like you're going from one place to another, and I'm going to whatever is that I'm going. I might change the plan, I might go to another city, but that's where I'm going. I'm doing it.
isn't the plan to make the decision?
Sorry?
Isn't the plan to make the decision and then change slowly? Isn't that what wealthy people do? They make decisions fast, but they change them slowly.
That's right. That's right. Bob gives that example all the time. When Von Braun was asked by President Kennedy, what does it take to take a man to the moon and bring him back down safely? Von Braun was head of the space, right? He said the will to do it, but he did it quick. Yeah. He answered like that, the will to do it. When Napoleon Hill was asked by Andrew Carnegie, Would you spend the rest of your life interviewing the richest men to find the laws of success? This way they don't die away. He was timing him under the table. He had a timer. And Napoleon didn't know. He answered, I think, in 30 seconds. So you got to make a decision quick. Why is it quick? Why can't I take overnight? Why I can't stay the weekend? Anybody knows why? Well, why do we have to make decisions quick? Come on, think. What happens when you wait?
I have an example because they say you find a man or a partner in life, and then
Mhm.
you work out the little. So you make a decision and you work it out. You don't have a checklist, and then then you make a decision kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So this is an example. Like you have to sort of make the decision.
You
and
make the
think.
decision that you just
Yeah.
go in. It's like, when you go in the water, right? Do you go tippy toe or do you just jump into the pool, right? So now, okay, for the lack of time, and I love you all, right? For the lack of time, the reason you're gonna make a decision fast is because your old you is gonna steal you back. It's not gonna let you stretch. You make a decision because intuition is telling you, damn it, it's a good car and I want it. Damn it, she's a beautiful girl and I'm going to ask her out. But guess what? Let's wait till tomorrow. I'll wait till another day. And then she goes. Then you don't get the dance. You don't get the date. You got to make decisions fast based on intuition. Intuition is God speaking to you. Lesson 5, higher mental faculties, imagination, reason. Like there's a reason why these lessons that we have are there for you, because I got to teach you all these so you grow. So the moment you sleep on your decision, a day or 2 or 10, you're letting the old you become. Yeah, you can make the decision. Maybe you don't execute the transaction because some decisions are big. Like if you're making a $10 million decision, you can't do it on a woof, right? There has to be due diligence. There has to be, you have to do right things. Like if you're buying a real estate home, right, for $1 million or $500,000, you don't just buy it, but I'll just buy it. No, you got to do inspections. You got to do permits. You got to make sure it's good. You got to make sure there's no oil in the ground. You got to make sure there's no lawsuits, no liens, like basic stuff. Organized plan. You have to get up to speed. And you get professionals to help you do that. No shortcuts. That's why you make these decisions quick. So I'm going to show you a quick video. Some of you have seen it. Doesn't matter. Pretend that you've never seen it before. This is the first time you see this decision video. I'm going to let Bob talk to you about this, and it's about 5 minutes. And then I'll get me a water. And then we're going to do the exercise that I promised you for finishing 2023 strong and starting 2024 on a high note. So remember, got a goal, change our self-image. Now we make a decision. We're not going back. How do you do it? Let's do it. And then we're going to continue. So where is the site? I'm sharing sound. Oh, this is, no, it's only 5 minutes. Beautiful. Beautiful. And some of you have seen it before. Guess what? Repetition is powerful. It's my favorite word from Bob, right? You got to have it. So here we go. Turn your headset on.
Anyone that has ever studied any of Napoleon Hill's work knows how important decision is. Very, very important subject. Here's one of the biggest challenges you face in regards to the principle of decision. It sounds like this. I'm going to do this as soon as I get the money. I'm going to do this as soon as the kids finish school. I'm going to do this as soon as I get the promotion. One idea after another. The decision is not executed. Why is it that approximately 90 or 90-some% of the population stay there? Well, Hill found out through a survey of over 25,000 men and women who had experienced failure. They experienced it because of lack of decision. That was the major cause of their failure. They weren't making the decision because they couldn't see how it was going to happen. The people that were making the decisions, they didn't see how it was going to happen either. They just knew it would. You know, anyone that has ever studied any of Napoleon Hill's work knows how important decision is. He wrote an entire chapter on decision in Think and Grow Rich. Decision was one of the principles of success. Very, very important subject. A lot of people don't understand it. We don't teach it in school. You can go right through our educational system without ever learning how to make a decision. And strangely enough, parents wanting to protect their children make their decisions for them, sometimes right into adulthood. So the person never learns how to make a decision. Now, in the very first page of the decision chapter, Napoleon Hill pointed out very clearly that successful people all make decisions very fast, change them very slow, even when they change them at all. And he pointed out the people that have trouble with success make decisions very slow and then change them fast and often. There's something about decision we should understand, and I think it's brought right to the surface in the story of Henry Ford and his famous V8 engine. You see, when Ford decided that he was going to produce his famous V8 engine, he chose to build the engine, the whole 8 cylinders, in one block. He called all his engineers and he told them that he wanted them to lay out a plan on how this could be done. Write it all out for him. So the engineers did that. They come back and they told him, to a man, they all complete agreement, it was impossible. This could not be done. I love Ford's response. He said, do it anyway. Now think of that. Here's a group of engineers. They've laid out the plan on putting 8 cylinders in one block. They said it was impossible, it couldn't be done. And Ford said, do it anyway. Now, why would he say that? Now, as the story goes, they went away and they worked on it, and they come back, same conclusion. It couldn't be done. He said, do it anyway. Now, think about this for a moment. The engineers were employed by Ford. He was the one that was signing the checks. He said, do it anyway. Were they going to argue with the man? So it went away, and they keep working on it. But you know, and I know, that he did put the 8 cylinders in one block. You see, the only prerequisite to making a decision is, do you want to? As you study, and as you get into all of Napoleon Hill's work, you will know that all these great achievers, like Edison, like Ford, they built the image of what they wanted in their mind. They became totally relaxed. They got that image very clear in their mind. What they were really doing was turning it over to infinite intelligence. And infinite intelligence then would feed the answers back to them. Now, they may not have been able to articulate exactly what was happening. We're going way back 50, 75 years. Today, we know that. At least some of us know it. Not everyone knows it. When you go to make a decision, think of Ford and his 8 cylinders in one block. The wise ones couldn't be done. All the engineers couldn't be done. He said, do it anyway. You don't have to know how to make it happen. You just have to know you're going to make it happen. So when you make a decision, bang, that's it, and there's no going back. You don't change the decision. You may change the plan, which we'll talk about later, but not the decision. Be decisive. Make your decisions fast, change them very slow, if and when you change them at all. That is what Napoleon Hill found all the successful people did. You are on a program of success. You do it too. The great decisions, which served as the foundation of civilization, were reached by assuming great risks, which often meant the possibility of death. Socrates' decision to drink the cup of poison rather than compromise his personal belief was a decision of courage. It turned time ahead 1,000 years and gave to people then unborn the right to freedom of thought and of speech. Get out your notebook, write decision in capitals at the top of the page. And then I'm going to use this principle of decision in the following way. And then finish that sentence in your notebook. Don't overthink it. Just tune into your own powerful intuition and record on paper what comes to you. Do it now.
So let's do that right now. You already know what you want. So if we take a minute right now, can you write on that piece of paper? Do you have what it takes? Say, I'm doing this. Like, you actually take your favorite pen and freaking write it. But remember,
Start sweating buckets here.
Exactly. I know how it feels because we're getting serious with ourselves.
And now getting the African heat.
Well, we have quite a few people around. So It's an incredible video. It's an incredible thing. And so I've worked at the Henry Ford complex. I know what has happened there. I've met the second, the third, and the fourth generation of Fords, right? It's incredible. And that's why I'm teaching these key elements. The goal. What do you want? Self-image, decision. Look what he said here. This is in the desire chapter. There's a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. Because I want you to be it, right? We have to be it. No one's ready for a thing until he or she believes he can acquire it. The state of mind must be belief, not mere hope or wish. That's why lesson 1 has belief. If you don't believe you're going to get it, you're not going to get it. If you're doubting it, you're not going to get it. How do you believe you can get it? You repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. I can do 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 it. You wake up in the morning, I can do it. It sounds crazy. And if you open the door, you let people in, they might come and take you with the white jackets, you know. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Don't let them in. So you gotta do that, right? The state of mind must be belief, not mere hope or wish. Open-mindedness is essential for belief. If you keep your mind closed on what you've done before, you're not going to let the new stuff in. And I'm going to share with you the diagram again, why that happens. Closed minds do not inspire faith, courage, and belief. Now we're going to talk a minute about faith, and then we're going to get into the questions. Just want to see if there's anything in the chat. Okay, good. Yeah, share your numbers with each other. Please professionally reach out to each other. Of course, I know most of you, the new people, I don't know you very well. So just behave, and this is do the best you can to be kind to each other. And if you book an appointment with somebody, you show up, all right? Just like if you book an appointment with me, I expect you to show up. So we're talking about this faith thing. What are we talking about? Why do we study every day? Why am I crazy to study every morning? I've already done 5 degrees. Because I want to build my faith. Faith in what? Faith in what I want. Because see, I'm not building my faith. I'm in fear mode. See, I want to be in this state all the time. I want to be in knowledge. I want to study every day. That's why my system, when you come and study with me, and some of you are, what's my system? Well, you know this, right? Number 1, we study. Systematic study, right? Systematic. It's not study anything. It's systematic study. It's like things that we need at the right time. And that's why those who are in private, I really zoom in on you because I know where you're at and I know what you need. Then I have what I call elite level mentorship, right? Because I know what I know. Bob told me what I know. Harrison Klein did. John DeMartini, Laura Langmeyer, a bunch of other people. But the key is, I know what you need if you tell me what's going on in your mind, right? And the third is accountability. That's how we do it. Now, why is that needed? I need to study because I want to build my faith. When I get study, I get understanding. I want to build my faith. I want my faith to be so big. Why do I want my faith to be so big? I'm not going to connect the iPad. It's going to take too long. We have the spirit is up here. We're living in the physical. You guys can see my screen, right? Can you see my screen? I'm typing on it.
Yeah.
All right. So when we have faith and when we're studying and when we're doing that, we are rising from the physical to the spiritual. And we're using our higher mental faculties to help us get there. So I got to study every day, systematically, the right material to get understanding. Otherwise, I'm in this state. I'm in worry and doubt and fear, which causes anxiety, causes depression, causes dis-ease. So many people are on pills right now in the world, in hospitals because of this. I'm talking to somebody, he's just about to get out of the hospital because he doesn't anxious anymore. He's starting to study. That's why we study every day, because I want to build my understanding. I'm just not knowing. You're just missing some information. You just haven't had the guidance that you need to build the dream that you want. And the more we study, the more we become aware. We're an extension of spirit, good spirit, and we are helping creation do. So that's why we want to be on this side. And if we don't do this, we end up being here. We end up being here. Fear and faith are just the opposite of each other, okay? So that's what I'm going to say on that. I have quite a few lectures on this on my stuff and in the back office and also on YouTube. Welcome, Kathy. Good to see you here. All right, we built a goal. We got the self-image taken care of. And I'm going to give you a bit more about self-image because that is the one thing that really got me where I need to get. You made the decision. You heard from Bob, you heard from Henry Ford, you heard from all that stuff, right? You got to make a decision, right? All right. Well, let's look at some of the questions that we need to make 2024 the best year ever. And if you have questions as I'm building this up, you know, now would be the time. We have to, let me find it, lead the field. So you're getting some of the advanced stuff. Oh, look at that. The picture is here and I was manually drawing it, right? So, all right, so here you go. So basically.
Sorry, could you make that a bit bigger, please?
Yeah, I can. So
Thank you.
Here we go. So what I was talking about earlier, the more we study, the more we build our higher mental faculties, the reason, memory, intuition, and will, perception. You already use the memory and imagination a little bit. You can use a little bit more towards your goal. The closer and the easier it is to connect with our higher self. We're becoming more aware, okay? Everything is connected. Our results are here right now because that's what we're aware of. As you study with me or somebody that knows what they're doing, you start rising to a higher frequency and vibration. And you start attracting into your life more of what you want instead of more of what you don't want. So you got to study, okay? Now, it doesn't matter how big is your company, okay? For a company to run, these are the 4 areas that you need to deal with. And trust me, if your sales are not good, if your program is not good, if your production is not good, you lack, you know, we got to improve it. We're working with some people on the $25,000 level where we help them build the whole thing, right? So there's finance, production, sales, and research that has to do with your company. So you could be an employee that you work in one of these departments in the company. All the operations in a corporation, it doesn't matter how big they are, they're reduced to these basic functions. I do a wisdom circle. Well, right now it's once a month. We're going to go to twice a month. And we meet with these CEOs and we see which area are they struggling. Is it finance, is it production, sales, and research? And we help them come up with ideas how to overcome these. In your business, in your world, one of these things is you probably want to grow, but how do you grow it? Like, what do you do, right? How do you do that?
Sorry, are you in America or are you in Canada? Like the CEOs, are they in America?
They're in all over the world. We come on Zoom. We do have
Okay.
retreats twice a year.
Oh, okay.
Right now we have Canada and the US mostly.
Okay, great. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to know.
No, it's okay. Good question.
We do have a border.
Good. This is gonna come back later. At the end, I'm gonna finish with the video from Sandy on the self-image. Just look at this line. I am who I think you think I am. This has to do with self-image. We're gonna get back to it. I want to stay on the questions that you need to help you get your business to the right level, okay? And I know I promised an hour, but we're gonna go a few minutes more because I want to give you everything I can. All right? So we're gonna spend, you know, let's just say 2 minutes per question. I'm not gonna spend 10 minutes per question because it's kind of boring and it needs some work. But these are the questions that you gotta ask yourself, and I can put some music. Where do you want to go? What decisions are you going to make on finances? Where do you want to be financially 3 years from now? What do you want your net worth to be? How about your annual income? Like, how many multiple streams of income do you want to have? I had only one when I started this material. I stopped counting after 5. So these are some serious questions, but it's only going to happen if you make a decision. So it's not going to happen, oh, it will happen when it happens. No, what do you want, right? What do you really want? Where do you want to be financially 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 3 years from now? I have a 6 months, 90-day plan, 6 months plan, 1 year plan, 3 year plan, 5 year plan. Where is your plan? These are the same questions that we use with those CEOs, and they make from $500,000 to, we only bring 5 million and above. We might have a smaller circle, but that's what we do now. I use the same material. This is the lead the field material. Same material that you're getting right now. This is lesson 8. Now, here's the thing. Your paradigm is going to kick you in the butt. You might say, I'm going to take a week to answer this, or am I going to take 2 days to answer this? Or you can say, I'm taking 2 minutes and I'm just writing it down. I'm just going to allow spirit to just let it come down. Now, I ask you, like, now we're in a presentation mode. You do the best you can, but tomorrow, after you study in the morning, after you meet in a relaxed mode, write the answer. How much money do you want to be worth? How much do you want to grow? How many incomes do you want? What makes you happy? That's the first question. Second question. Production. Like I spent 25 years in steel making. I took the last 2 companies, basically, the one tripled in production, Republic Steel, VP and GM. And the one before that, they doubled their income. We went from 14.5 million to 29. At the time when ex-President Trump was in charge for a Chinese company that's importing things into the US. So imagine how much hard time we had. You think your life is difficult? I was the GM of sales in charge of 4 product managers and 1 assistant. And we've doubled the company in 2.5 years. Production. Chinese company with all the tariffs, all the taxes. So do I know that this stuff works? I'm 100% sure. I didn't just read it. Because I did it. And because I did it, I can help you grow your mindset. I can help you believe in yourself. I can help you change your self-image. I can be there when you need me to be there. So if you're running in a production company, like, where do you want to be 3 years from now? How many tons do you want to make? How many gadgets do you want to build? I had a lady, she's not with me anymore, but she came to me. She wasn't selling anything for 2 years. Selling this, it's like a tool. It's called Beamer. Like $5,000-6,000. It helps you, I don't know, heal, after injuries and stuff. I got to teach her how to sell, teach her how to think of how many people to talk to every day. She's now selling them like popsicles. I can't take all the credit. I was the guide. She is the hero. But you have to make a decision. You have to have a goal. You have to have mentorship. You have to have accountability. Otherwise, your old you won't let you. You'll wake up and you just watch TV. You'll wake up and just go to work, do the same thing that you've been doing for the last 25, 30, 40 years. It took me 25 years to wake up. 5 degrees. It's pretty sad. I don't want to take that long for you. So take this question down, take a screenshot. Okay, sorry, I gotta scroll to the question here. All right, so here's the thing. Are you in, who's here in sales? Zoom is not letting me see who's here now. I don't know what's going on with Zoom. Anybody here in sales?
I am.
All right. How's your sales volume in the last 3 years? Are going up or going down?
Mixed bag, really.
Mixed bag, right? Are there other companies like yours that are going up?
Yeah, they're growing
Yeah,
consistently.
growing consistently, right? And do they have more talent than you? Do you think they have other skills than you guys? Than you?
No, definitely not.
Definitely not, right? Same thing. That's the feeling, right? When I came to to UMAC, they're like, others are, they had the same answers. I said, you know what? Forget what they said. Let's look at this material. Let's study this material. Let's feel the goal. Let's get involved together and put a dashboard and start going after it. Everybody else that's out is doing better than you. They're not better than you. They're just doing something different than you. They're just looking at it differently. They have a different set of beliefs. But you have to make up your mind. Where will you be selling? What will you be selling? How much do you want to sell? Can you raise your prices, right? Do you feel that you have what it takes to raise the price? These are the 4 areas that will take any company to a whole other level. Now, research, this only works for those companies that are producing some new stuff, right? Like something new. You have to have something new on the market. Like a friend of mine, I privately help him. He's working for SpaceX or X Space, whatever you call that company up in LA with Elon. And they're working on SpaceX, right? Yeah, he's working on the 3D material that they are using now to launch these things to space. So he needs to use some new stuff that nobody's ever done. He depends on the material to help him stay focused, to help him get ideas, to help him lead his team. He's very, very smart, but he still needs guidance. We all do. Because they are cutting edge. They want to launch these rockets into space, and they want to use back the capsules. They want to use back the shells, and then they have to test them to make sure it's good, right? So these are the 4 questions that we need to do to really move the needle. And this might be a stretch for some of you, right? And I totally apologize. I don't know where you're at in your business, some of you, but these are the 4 questions that I use for high-end CEOs, and I regard you all as you're the CEO of your life. I want you to become the CEO of your life. So if you don't have a company of your own, guess what? You own you, right? You're the CEO of your own life. Are you going to become in charge? Are you going to step up? Are you going to say, I am going to be the man or the woman? Who's going to? If you don't, who's going to do it? Don't wait for your kids to tell you to do it. Don't wait for your boss to tell you to do it. You have to step up. And if you don't, there's a reason. There's something holding you back. But I believe you don't want to let's see what's in the chat. Okay, Julie said, thank you very much. Nice to meet you all. Cool. Julie is one of my private clients. They're a couple out of Canada. So you got to step up. It's this work that we're doing is for the elite, right? It's for those who want to be in the 1, 2, 3% that make it happen. Welcome, Kathy. Good to see you here. And it's not for everybody. So if you've been trying for 15, 20, 30, 40 years and it's not working for you, it's because one of those things is going wrong. Either you're not connected with the right goal, or your self-image is still not shifted, or you have not made a decision that you're really going to get it done this time, and you want to be in a group that's really doing the right thing, right? And you're not serious about it. You're just kind of, you're wishing and hoping, like this. Would be nice to get rich. No, it's not would be nice to get rich. I want to get rich. I want to have silver. I want to have gold. I want to have money. It's not nice. No, I want it. You have to demand it from the abundance that's here. You got to demand it. It's not going to just come. Santa's not coming by himself. He ain't coming. I bet you if you close your door nowadays with the way we run and the way we work, nobody comes to check on you. People are dying in their homes days later until they find out that they're missing. It's terrible. Nobody's coming to save you. You have to save yourself. You have to become that CEO of your life. And it's up to you to challenge yourself that way. And if you're not challenging yourself, guess what? You're playing it safe. And it's okay. Because we need people at gas stations. We need people in restaurants. We need people delivering stuff. There is nothing wrong with those people. I love them dearly. My guy, I give him cards. We give him cake. It's all good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's what do you want? I can go back to Lebanon and I can live on a pretty much $1,000 a month or maybe 2,000. Or I can live here, it costs me $35,000, $40,000 a month. What do you want? What do you want? There's one more document. I know it's 6:10, and I do have another video, but there's one document I really want to share with you. And if you have any questions, I want you to ask. But there's this document, you really need to see it, because this is going to help you define where your next life is going to be. Now, you might be too scared. You might be too scared to even ask those questions, right? Oh, where did the document go? But this document is going to help you come up with the answers. I hate 2 screens. When you have 2 screens, sometimes it gets too complicated. Financial projections. Where did it go? Here we go. Financial projection. Oh, here it is. Because, I mean, it's taken me a while to really let myself on what I want. But this might help you. If I can get to the right screen. I'll make it bigger too. I want you to take a look at this, and I'll send this to every one of you. Just drop your email that you want it, say yes, and make sure I have your email if you're not in my system. But most of you I do, but just tell me you want it. I look at where I am now, and where do I want to go? That's you want. Like, I need to find out, I need a baseline, right? Financial projection over your rent, your mortgage. Where are you now? Your taxes, your insurance, your maintenance, your hydro, where am I now? You need a number. And how do you like to live? If you're living in a $2,000 home, do you want to live in a $5,000 home? Because you need to have a meter, like how much money you need to earn. This is the beginning. I honestly only usually share this with my private clients, but you're all private. You're right here. I'll share it with all of you because I want you to have it. But you got to do the work. You got to put the numbers now. You got to come up with a total, everything, daycare, healthcare, life insurance, car insurance, everything. And you come up with a total. And guess what? I have on this as well how much donations. Because I want to give 10%. So if any of you that are not my clients, you sign up, guess what? 10% of that goes to an organization. That's how it works. Willingly give and graciously receive. So I come up with where I am now. I'll have a dollar figure. I'll even add the tax. And then where I want to go. So we have the current and we have the goal. Don't make it too complicated. Some people are too scared to write that big goal. Just where do you like to live? What car do you want to drive? Where do you want to send your kids to school? How much travel do you want? How much daycare do you want? Do you want somebody to clean the house or not? House cleaning, like that's what I'm talking about. And then you come up with how much. And then from that, we'll do another step where we'll come up how many things you need to sell, how many things you need to grow, how many, whatever. And we take you through a dashboard to show me the number. I'm working with somebody on sales only. She paid the $15,000 private because she's taking time and a half. We work on sales. That's what she wants to work on. She likes how I teach Bob Proctor's mindset selling, and that's what we're doing. But I gotta see numbers. How many contacts a day? How many follow-ups a day? How many appointments? Did you enroll it? Did you not? And if you're not, why not? Did you watch the video? Oh, I did. Well, which minute? Where do I need to watch? We watched it. So there's different ways, but the key is get in the game. And if you're not in the game, it's okay. We have 95% of average people. 55% of retirees are freaking broke. In the richest country in the world. Let me check the chat and then we'll take questions. I also have a video about the self-image thing. I would like the document. Okay, perfect. Yeah, all my clients, I'll send you the document. That's awesome. Kindly share the document. Amal, that's good. I see you in the database as well. Perfect. So this next video is going to summarize all of this together. And it's going to be from a female voice as well, from Sandy, not from Bob this time. It's going to put it all together. The goal, the self-image, the decision, how much money you want, how much are you worth? What are you willing to do? Are you going to step up this year? Or are you going to just goof around another year? It's up to you. This is the time, right now. In the next 90 days, you can really switch around your life. So, any questions before I pull out that video? It's only 10 minutes, so 6:15. We should be fully done by 6:30. Okay. And yes, I will send you all the documents. Sounds good.
I was going to say,
Mm-hmm.
how long does it take to see results? You think like 90 days or less than that?
I would say, depending on what kind of results, which area of life we're talking about, if it's waking up on time, if it's getting into your acting gear, probably 35 days max. If it's financial, if it's something you've never sold before, it could be 60. But I've had anywhere from 1 week to 3 weeks where they basically stopped coming to the classes because they got what they wanted. So it's really up to you and how fast you let go of your old self and sprint with me to the new self. I don't know. We have to let go of the old you and build the new image. Some people are spending years working on their old self. I don't do that. I help you build a new model. Buckminster Fuller said, build a new model. Build a new model. So how long it takes? How much?
I
How
think
hard are you?
I think the get your ass in gear statement is probably about as good as it needs to get, chef.
Like
Yeah.
I'm in it to win. I'm here to stay. I'm not going anywhere. And I tell my clients, get in the game for real, because this is serious stuff. We're talking about your next life. We're talking about the new version of you. This is
One
gonna
thing
Yeah.
about,
sorry.
how much time do you have to put in daily on this?
I ask my clients 20 minutes in the morning, 15 to 20 at night.
Okay, not
But
too long.
but it's not just 20 minutes while the TV's on. It's not 20 minutes when you're, on the bathroom toilet there. No, it's 20 minutes focused, 20 minutes paying attention to the words, 20 minutes thinking about what the material is going to ask you to think of what I teach you. It's serious 20 minutes, right? I'm going to give you my time and you're going to have to give me your time.
Yeah.
That's all. This is not about studying 2-3 hours a day. And no, I want to spend time on the action. But 20 minutes in the morning, 15 to 20 at night. And guess what? You will save time from other areas of your day that I'll teach you how, that you will find this extra hour. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
Good question. Now, Sandy Gallagher, you might know her, you might not. You might like her, you might not. This lady knows money, man. She's dealt with like billion-dollar transactions. Like I told you the story about US Steel, just got sold for 14 point something $1 billion. She's done supposedly $100 billion worth of transactions. 100 billions. That's how much she's been responsible for. She left all that and came to help Bob the last 15, 16 years to put all this together. Now, what you're seeing here, this is the kind of the advance from thinking into results, but it all matches because this is what I teach. I can't teach you just a piece of me. I give you everything. This is what I'm learning. So when you come to with me in the morning meeting, some of you are, I'm teaching you the best stuff that I know. From what John DeMartini is teaching me, Jay Abraham, Jack Canfield the other day, everybody, you're just gonna get it because willingly give, graciously receive. So it's about 11 minutes, and then put your questions in the chat. Make sure you connect with each other, and I will also be dropping my calendar link in the chat as well.
Hello and welcome back to lesson 8. Now, how are you enjoying this lesson? Because I love it. And you know what? I think everyone, everywhere, bar none, should read this lesson, study this lesson every single day, because none of us have a true picture of ourselves. And if we were to just study this lesson, even if it was just once a week, after a period of time, our self-image would dramatically improve. It would have to. Because this lesson gets us to really understand our true nature and who we are, and the fact that we are God's highest form of creation. And the more we study that, the more it becomes apparent in everything we do and everything we think. And so we want to focus about the truth of who we are. Now, in this lesson, on pages 3 and 4, there's some graphic illustrations that really help us understand the concepts that we're studying here. And so I play around with those pages 3 and 4. Play around with them as much as you possibly can and understand what's going on here and what we're trying to explain. Everything comes from one formless substance. Spirit is all there is. Everything is spirit. Everything is energy, and it's the same energy. And in this first graphic illustration, we see you go from air to steam to water, or from etheric to astral to physical. But we want to understand that it's all connected. There's no demarcation between what's above and what's below, and that's a really critical point. And if you go to the next graphic on page 4, we really get into this concept because we go from thoughts, ideas, and things, or spirit, intellectual, physical. You know, we are so earthbound. We're so physically oriented. We, you know, shower, wash our body, we dress our body, we work out our body, we feed our body, we focus on the physical results. We're so earthbound, but the thing we want to understand is it's the physical part of us is the lowest part of our personality. It's the lowest part of our personality. We are spiritual beings. We are living in a physical body, having a physical experience, and we're gifted with an intellect. And that intellect enables us to tap in to that non-physical world. And when we tap into that non-physical world, we can grab an idea. We can hold on to an idea. We can hold it on the screen of our mind, and we can impress it upon our subconscious mind. The early Greeks called it our heart, the heart of hearts, our subjective mind. We impress it on the subjective mind. We fuse with that idea. We act as if it's already manifested, and it moves into form through the creative process. And so when we look at this graphic on page 4, we see spirit and thoughts. We see them on the same level. And I want to understand that thought is energy. It's the most potent form of energy. And thought, we have different thoughts on different levels of vibration, different frequencies. Thought is of a spiritual nature. It's omnipresent. It's everywhere. I mean, think about it this way. If you're scuba diving and you're looking around at all the sights and you're thinking, that thought is present everywhere. There have been studies done of the astronauts on the other side of the moon and tracking the thoughts. The thoughts are present everywhere. Whatever we are thinking, it's present everywhere, and that is what we are creating. That is what we are creating. We hear that thoughts are things, but thoughts aren't things. Thoughts are potential things. The physical world is just a manifestation of our thought. And we really want to get this. And so play around with these graphics on page 3 and 4 and the concepts that are being discussed here. Because I think when you do, you're going to realize we've got to raise the bar. We got to really take it up a notch and understand and look at what we have going for us and work with the creative process, not against the creative process. Let the creative process work for us. It's so powerful. Okay, so we're at the 8th lesson. We're about 2/3 of the way through this coaching program. And, you know I would just bet, based on my own personal experience working with this information and applying it in my life, I would bet that your life has improved dramatically at this point. But here's the beautiful truth. It's just a fraction of what is possible. You're just a fraction of who you really are. There's so much more that can unfold and will unfold in our life when we decide that that's what we're going for. And so in this lesson, we get into some questions, some serious questions about you and what you want and where you're going and the results that you've achieved. And I really encourage you to get into these lessons, write out your answers, spend time on this because the reward is huge. Now on page 7, this is an interesting concept. It says, I am who I think you think I am. I am who I think you think I am. Now, I'm not who you think I am. I'm not who I think I am. I am who I think you think I am. Now, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? So we really want to get into the questions here. And, you know, Earl says in here at one point that to look at yourself as a corporation. And, you know, corporation has all these different departments, all these different areas. Well, look at yourself. Like, step outside of yourself, move what you're thinking about out of you. So it's not you. And you're objectively looking at yourself and you're saying, how am I doing in this area? How am I doing in this area? And decide how you want to be doing in all these different areas. And then listen to what Earl says. I love the most profound directive he makes. This is on page 15. He said, the most profound directive Earl Nightingale gave us was to act like the person you want to become. You have at this point predicted what you, as a company, will be like in 3 years in all 4 departments. In the space provided, state the changes that you must begin making now to begin acting, walking, talking, and studying like the person you want to become. You got to act like the person you want to become. I remember when Bob first said this in the seminar, when I went to my first seminar in 2006, and I thought, that seems so ridiculous to me. like act as if and, you know, fantasize and daydream and, you know, what is it that you really want and see it in your mind. And I thought it was so crazy, but it is so powerful and it works. So dig into this and do that. Do all the exercises, write them out. I can't say this enough because I know how powerful this is. And now towards the end of this lesson, we want to stop every day and think about what we are grateful for. And when we do this, we want to feel that gratitude. We want to really feel that gratitude. I learned this lesson from Bob in 2010. It was November 7th, 2010. And we were at an event in Phoenix, Arizona. And I had been CEO of the company since January of 2009. And I, at this point, was dealing with some really difficult things for me. There was a conflict that I was dealing with in the company, and it just seemed like it was a conflict that I was trying to resolve, and it seemed like the more I was trying to resolve it, the further apart we were getting. I was going through a breakup of my marriage, and I was having a really tough time with that. And I said to Bob, you know, do you have time to go have a cup of coffee? I want to talk to you. And he said, sure. We went, we sat down, we had coffee. I told him about this and I asked him, I said, what are 3 things I can do every day to deal with these issues and in the process become a better person, an even better person? And he thought for a moment and then he said, okay, here's what you want to do. And he said, number 1, every day, write out 10 things you're grateful for. And there's so much power in this. First thing in the morning, write out 10 things you're grateful for. And here's a beautiful thing. It doesn't have to be something that's already physically in your world. It can be one of your big goals already manifested. So you're grateful as if it's already manifested. And you feel that gratitude as if it is here. It is real.
That's cool.
Use your imagination. You go into the future, create future memories of experiences you have when this goal is manifested, and you be grateful for it. But you write out 10 things. It may be just you had a wonderful cup of coffee that morning, or the hug you got from your child or from your pets, or, you know, I mean, there's whatever it is, the key is to feel it. That's the number 1 step in this process. Number 2, be quiet for 5 minutes and ask Spirit for guidance for the day. And then just be open throughout the day to tap in and hear the guidance that you're getting. And then number 3, send love to 3 people who are bothering you. I had a real hard time with that one at first. I asked if I had to limit it to 3. Now, some people, you might not have anyone that's bothering you, and that's great. Just send love. You might, if you're frustrated with yourself, you might just want to put yourself on the top of the list to send love. But you literally see this person experiencing the joy and the abundance in life that you want to experience. And you send them love. Because what you're doing, it's not about them. It's not about them at all. It's about you and the energy that you're allowing yourself to be in. And the moment you can send love, you're in that state. You immediately receive that, experience that energy. And that's what it's all about, because we want to be in a beautiful vibration, a vibration that is in harmony with the good that we desire. So I encourage you to do this gratitude exercise every single day. I do it every single day. And I think it is one of the most powerful things I have ever learned. So you've got 5 more days with this lesson 8 till we move on to lesson 9. Really dig into it. It is just such a wonderful lesson. Mentally play around with it and start to get an even truer perspective of who you are and what is possible for you. This is Sandy Gallagher, and I'll see you next lesson.
Awesome. So good. And my final point in terms of the takeaway, what I want each and every one of you is, it's about getting better every day. Getting better every day, not just someday, every day, just a little bit better. So I want to thank you all. I want to thank my clients who are here. I know this was usually we do 1 hour, but there was a lot of content I wanted to share. And we'll just have an open mic now for the clients if they want to share something, their takeaway, how you felt, what you're gonna do, how this information has changed your life, and what you're doing about it. And we'll just have kind of open mic with the guests as well. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And there's a lot to pack in a short amount of time, but it takes all these things together. It takes a community, and you've been around 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and it's going to take a minute to get you to come all around. So any of the clients want to say what was your takeaway today, or what do you want to say about the material?
Maybe a question from my side, Kamal. Maybe if you can share your thoughts on um, the process that people go through when they start engaging in self-help programs. There's generally a level of silliness that they feel when they have to go through learning the basics of things that seem like those things don't move the needle. And I can speak for myself because I've been through many different programs over the years. And I mean, a perfect example of this is, spending time to be grateful for things. Now, I know for many people, they'd look at that and they'd go, but that's not helping me. That's not going to help my business. That's not moving the needle for me. So, like, remember you and I, we were talking about this the other day when I said, one of my biggest tasks is I need to suspend judgment, right? In terms of how I interpret and absorb the information. So I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that takes concepts like being grateful and thinks, well, how's that going to put $1 million in my pocket? How is that going to help me get to that new self-image? Because the gap between something simple as what Sandy just tried to explain and the outcomes that we seek, that bridge doesn't seem like it's built yet. And I personally find it very difficult to link the two because it doesn't seem like there's an outcome waiting for me on the opposite end of spending 10 minutes a day being grateful. So some thoughts on that would be quite helpful.
Yeah, sure. I'm not going to spend 20 minutes, but just a quick minute on it. Just being grateful by itself is not going to do it. And just being grateful just as a physical exercise, the lips is not going to do it. You got to get into the feeling, and the action has to be there. Gotta take the action. And the way we are built to grow systematically. So I am grateful for the $10 million that I'm going to have in 3 years. It's already here actually right now. But guess what? I have never earned that in a year. So I'm going to have to earn twice what I am now, 3 times what I am now, 4 times until I get there. So to get to the top of the mountain, I got to do that step. I got to get to the base mountain first. So some people think, I just get the law of attraction to work. I just wish and hope for it. It ain't going to work. Gratefulness by itself, no. And it's not lip service. You got to get into the feeling. You got to believe. If you're doubting the material, you're kicking yourself in the butt. You've been doubting it all along anyways. Start believing. Accept it like a child. Accept it like a child. The children will just eat the food their parents give them. They'll speak the language that their parents speak. They don't doubt it. They just do it. So we are programmed not to do that. Okay?
Thank you.
Good question.
The
Michelle?
Buddha is quoted as saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And you are in the space of accepting that or not.
Really? Absolutely.
Kamal, can I ask you something?